Okay. Hello everyone, welcome back to another stream. Hopefully this will not be too bad. The last couple of streams have been particularly terrible. So we'll see if this one's okay. I just need to switch to my actual account here so I can send the link out to people. The link, that moment where I'm like checking everything and you can hear me in the background. So we'll get going in a moment. Oh my god, seriously? I'm like trying to edit the stream here as we're doing stuff. And it's not updating on YouTube's end. So if it actually works this time. Nope, it's still, god damn it. It's still coming up with the wrong link. YouTube be doing me dirty. It's like on the stream it clearly says, hello memes. YouTube's doing me dirty here. It clearly says on my end, trying to redesign Waterfall. But when I post the link up, it's going to confuse people because it doesn't say that. It says visiting places in VR for... Just grand. Well, let's try this anyway. So yeah, we'll get into this in a moment. Hopefully everything is not too laggy. Just doing a stream now. Ignore the wrong title in. I'm just trying to put that out there on the net. Okay, we're good. Redesigning Waterfall, peak video name. It's just something I just came up with really quick. I was like, I'm being lazy. So, I'm gonna have a drink. Hey, Voidley. Okay, so I was on VR chat just checking out who was there a moment ago. It was like, there's a bunch of people. We'll see what happens. But if you've not already seen the previous video, then I'll just go through this quickly. This is all of Waterfall in a straight line. This does not work. Primarily because if you go through it in-game, this is the bit where the little duck, bird, whatever, carries you across the small gap. But when you actually follow the in-game version, you go all the way through the marsh, all the way through Onion Sands bit, and you completely ignore where that bird would be going, including the chase with Undyne. And then the little bird is here. Makes no sense. I now have to try and figure out how to make all of this make sense because of how big it is. Because there's no way. There's no way this is making any sense. You know, I know it's just a joke, but the bird ignores the universe. It really does. You know, because like, when you look at that normally, it's just like a 3 to 4 foot gap, maybe. It's about the same distance between Onion Sands bit and the bird's bit. Makes no sense. Make it a joke with map transitions. I mean, I suppose I could make like... The thing is, I'm jumping into this too quickly here. Obviously, the way that this works in-game is you can see the other side in-game. And it's like... I can see why they do that. You know, Toby sets that up so you think, oh, it's just a small gap. It's a fun little thing for when you want to go to and fro and fast travel around all of this. But this has taken me like a little while to cut up and actually make sense of when you actually go through the in-game version. It's like, what we're essentially doing is we're skipping... Oh, crap. Where is it? There we go. Trying to get my annotations. We're actually skipping all of that with Mad Dummy and everything. So if you take out all of that, then you actually get the bird skip. So what I'm thinking is maybe like the bird takes you up into the ceiling or whatever, or maybe we just like rotate this. This is what I did with like the last version of like Heartland, where I rotated stuff to make sense. It's like, okay, we do this, and then we juggle the marsh a little bit, so the marsh still goes down this way. But then we just place this right here, and it's kind of working, right? You could kind of connect these two here to kind of be close together that way, but then the problem with that is you fall down Undyne's bit here and end up in the garbage dump, which is then all the way over here. So it's like, dude, what is going on right now? So you can see why designing Waterfall is a little bit awkward, and why my brain is like, dude, what? Again, I really don't think that the maps were designed with this sort of thing in mind. It was just kind of a little gag. Make Frisk ask a question why they went 50 feet too far. I thought it'd be funny to poke at the map design with a good old wink from the bird after Frisk leaves the little room open with the map transitions. See, the thing is, it's like I could make a joke of it quite easily. The thing is, it's like, and the one thing that's annoying me at the moment is I can't tie it together visually pretty easily without, because I'd love to still keep the map intact relatively the same way that it works in the game, but it's just a pain. It's just a massive pain, you know, because the one thing that gets me is you can clearly see the duck's landing spot from either side. So it's just like, oh no. If you're going to animate Sans battle in Waterfall, just joke about his only attack when it slowly reappears, but at the same time just gets 2 times faster than it was before, says Voidley. I want to do the whole Sans bit with Shiren. That'd be really cool to animate. You know, where Sans is busy giving out tickets to everybody. Like, part of this is, part of the fun with this is doing all the stuff that fans either know or don't know about or really love, like all the small details, and trying to include them. I'm trying to figure out how I can tweak this, because that makes sense up until there, and then it's the rest of this that doesn't make sense, plus the bird. It's that bird, man. If the bird wasn't there, it'd be fine. Because when you think about it, the bird has to fly. If you keep it how it is, the bird has to fly underneath all of these floorboards, or the wooden planks, where Undyne chases you from underneath, and then has to have another way of getting all the way around here to here. And with Heartland, it was as simple as just rotating it, you know, like 90 degrees and slightly elongating something. What about rotate that there like that, so it's 90? Because this is what I hate about my, I swear it's like ADHD or something. I've just not been diagnosed with it. Every time I talk to people about it, I seem to exhibit quite a lot of symptoms. I'm not saying I have it, it's one of those things where people have been like, dude, you don't get seen to, the waiting list is massive, you might as well self-diagnose. I'm like, I don't want to do that, really. There we go, but it's so annoying trying to logically get stuff to work. The only thing I can think of is if this map has to work like this. Hey, Sammy. Nice to see you again. The only thing I'm thinking of is, if the map has to work like this, then we can joke about it via a different way, right? Because the way that this works, in Blender, I've already said we're not going to see the entire map, so let's break this down into sections, right? We've got this section, which is probably just going to be one entire section here, which will be modeled out with all the details. Hi, Blair. You might be able to help me with this too. So this is one section of the map, and this is just going to be like the entrance, the ice cave, which I keep saying about having, the ice cave, and then a load of water with all these different areas that are going to be fleshed out, the wishing room, and then it stops, right? Because then we can have a load of detail in this area without it being connected. So then the next area, actually I'll keep that area the way that I've drawn it out, so then I can keep track of things. So I have this one area, so that's number 1. I'm drawing with a mouse here, so this is terrible. So this is area 1, right? Area 2 is probably going to be the Undyne chase. Now, the thing is, depending on where I film it from, depends on where I want to split this up, right? Wasn't this meant to be an exploring VRC chat maps thing? Not working on waterfalls. No. This is for the this is for the movie. This is literally for the movie. I don't think I've made that apparent. This is all for like the movie, but the thing is, it's like I have said at some point I would like to try and wait a minute. Wasn't this meant to be an exploring? No. This isn't meant to be that. Like on my end, it says trying to redesign Waterfall, Immersiontale, but on your end, it may say trying to visit places in VR chat. I don't know why YouTube has done that. It just refuses to update the title. It's so annoying. It does it for like multiple streams. So yeah. This is why I get annoyed with YouTube. Because it confuses everybody, because they're like, wait, what? Are you doing VR stuff? And I'm like, no, it's like on my end. Where is it? I can't show it, but like, I can take a screenshot and post it in the Undernet later on. Like, literally, it just says, like, trying to redesign Waterfall. And when you post the link somewhere else, it just says, like, oh, we're still in VR chat. But yeah, anyway. So we've got Undyne's chase bit, which I think Undyne's chase is going to be massive. And let's see, we've got up to the bird there, right? So I reckon if I split this up smart, because I've kind of got it a little bit like this in the other version, we could just film all of that bit in one go, but then we'd still have to have it in the background later on, so it's not as if I can just like do that one area. Because of the way that you see things, you have to be able to see the other bits, so it links all the areas together. So this all has to be one big thing here, which is a bit of a pain. Let's have a look. Oh god, do we have to do onion sands bit as well? Okay, so maybe, depending on how I do the march here, depends on whether we can see onion sands bit. So what do you guys reckon? Have this be like one giant cave area that contains all of the marsh and everything, or what? Because then that would break up onion sands bit and allow me to do all of this bit as its own separate thing. Hey, Jam. Hope everything's all right. I'm getting a massive headache right now. It's probably because I've not drunk much all day apart from Coke. Don't forget the ferry. Oh yeah, no, I'm not forgetting the ferry. Reminds me, I need to model the ferry. Although the ferry is just literally a pink blob, so drink some water. I've literally got some right next to me. See, I reckon this one is going to be another area, because I reckon Onion Sands bit is going to be another cave, right? So that's 2. So Undyne's first chase is another cave. And then we've got this entire section, which I explained about previously, which I think is going to be another one here, up until the Undyne chase, which is 4. No, sorry, not 4, 3. Can't count. Right? And then, because that allows us to somewhat segment this. Then we've got the entire chase, which I think will be its own thing. So that's second chase, that's 4. And the reason why I'm doing this, I'll explain it in a moment. This bit I might be able to split up as well here. That's strange how that goes through there. That would have to turn and go around here. If you were looking at the map that way, John, I'm going to need you on this, I think. You know, just your puzzle solving skills might be required. Blur, you still in here, by the way? What bank we robbing? Because I might need Blur's help on this as well. Because I'll show you what the problem is in a moment. Okay, so if we do... That's going to be its own thing, I reckon, if we segment that off there for Undyne's confrontation. And then we've obviously got Temmie Village, which we can have as its own little thing there. And then have... Maybe this is its own other one? Because this way it's segmented into smaller sections, but I'm going to need to have some of the other bits still be visible. And then we've got all of this here. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Funny enough, 8 pieces. 8 souls. We only need one more. So that's, I think I'm going to have to segment Waterfall up just so I can do this in the maximum amount of detail. That's how I'd break it up. But the problem again is this, right? For those who are just coming in now, I do a lot of like throwing out ideas and brainstorming with the community, so I'll probably, you know, end up going backwards and forwards with people on this. The problem is that when I don't save that and I just go here, in Undertale, when we go to this path, gameplay-wise, what we see is the OG, Sammy says, the OG Undertale monsters have it easy. They only needed 7 souls. The AU needs 10. So when we get to here, in the game, you see that part there, right? But you also get to see, I'm sure you've probably already seen the problem here, you get to see this part at the other side, right? With the duck or the little bird, whatever you want to call it. The idea is that the other part is over here where the mouse is. And the joke is that the bird only flies a short distance to get you across. But what the bird actually skips is this massive chunk in between. And the massive chunk in between features Onion Sands Room, the Dog Shrine, the statue, and like all this bit with Monster Kid down here, and some of the Echo Flowers, and then the really cool bit where we have the castle in the distance, where Monster Kid talks to you about it, and it's like a really cinematic part. And then we get the bit where you put the umbrella back and you go up, and then there's Undyne's second chase, I think it is, across a massive wooden bridge or maze. And then you fall down into the garbage dump from that when she cuts off the bridge. The joke being that, you know, the bird just cuts out all of that, right? So you don't have to do all that again. But the thing is, you can see from around here, where I'm highlighting at the moment, or I'm squiggling, from here, you can see there, from the And you start seeing the problem now, which is because I'm very literal and very picky with details. I simply can't ignore the fact that, yes, this is a joke about fast traveling, but the way that the map works is all of this can't be skipped if I try and do like the modeling the way that the map shows there at the moment. Like, I'm very literal with how I take things, so when the map shows me this massive amount of stuff in between here, that's just really cool sequence, but yet the joke is that it skips like this, I'm like, wait, what? You know, so I don't know how I should approach this for modeling, because I can model all of this other stuff. Excuse me. I can model all of this other stuff really easy, but I don't know what I should do when it comes to the bird here because of it not making any literal sense. And it's not like Hotland where I can just rotate things 90 degrees, because if I tried rotating this 90 degrees, especially down, it just does not work, because then you have the end of the boardwalk in the wrong location, and that doesn't match up with this area where Undyne sends you to after she cuts you off the end. So I don't know what to do right now, and my brain is like stuck and is like, dude, full stop, can't go anywhere, have fun, you know. Make it a separate tunnel like the igloo in Snowden. Oh, so like, so have this, the marsh here, or even this bit with onion sand, have it be like a separate tunnel that goes off in a different direction. I'm actually wondering whether, instead of rotating it down, whether I can rotate it upwards. I really don't think Toby and Tammy and the group that did the art stuff intended for this to be used in this way. Oh, dude, that might actually work. Oh, if I do it that way, somebody will come in now and be like, dude, stop making weird sounds. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, I'm finally figuring this out. I can make that. No, I can't make it work. Shoot. I can't make it work. I thought I had it then. I was like, I can turn it 90 degrees that way and it'll work. But the problem is the bird has gone from over here to now all the way over here. Unless, no, because if I move that down, if I move that back there like this, then the rest of it makes sense, apart from this bit, because Undyne throws you off here and you end up back down here. No. Ah. Seriously. I cannot spell today. My brain is fried, says Sammy. It's fine. When the camera cuts to the player and Frisk and the bird make it look like a tunnel. I'm wondering whether Frisk in VR has done this. I'll ask him. Hang on. Is Frisk actually around? Oh, he's on Project Zomboid, so I might have to go check how this was done, because I know it was done differently by Latiprod in VR, and I did a video on that. I can roughly remember how it looked. Plays little epic little bird music. The bird music's amazing. I remember Latiprod made it different, and I think Frisk's made it different, but Frisk didn't get this far, if I remember rightly. They did the chase with Undyne. Oh no, did they? No, they did this. I'm just trying to piece together where Frisk got up to. I think Frisk did the fantasy style one for Hall of Souls and got up to here, and then didn't go any further. The reason why I'm so annoyed about this as well is because over here is the bit where Undyne stands on top of the cliff and you can see Hotland from it. And because I need to finish off Hotland, and the only thing I really need to do for that is to finish off the cave wall and the river, I need to figure out what Undyne sees into Hotland, you know, like her perspective, so I can model everything back from that and the continuity be accurate. So it's it's a case of I can't finish one until I finish the other one, and it's a knock-on effect from when I started the core, because I was like, I'll do the core, I'll get some of the details for that done, and it was like, I can't finish the core until Heartland's done, because you can see the outside from the core, and then I'm like, okay, now Heartland's almost done. Now I need to do Waterfall, because you can see Heartland from Waterfall. Oh. Sammy says, I should be taking a nap to do the dishes, but you're here now. I was excited to Sammy. Thank you very much. I've been trying to stream the past couple of days, but the internet has just been terrible, but it's all right now, so we good. So yeah, the problem with this is more to do with Undyne's chase bit, right? Because if Undyne didn't chase you here and send you here, it'd be fine. It'd be totally fine. You'd be able to potentially get away with this. Trying to think of how this can be done now. Because following the game's route, you have to go that way. The only thing I can think of, how are you doing? We're doing fine. We're doing fine. They're just downstairs, hopefully asleep at the moment. Hopefully I'm not being too loud. So I like trying to keep it down a little bit. Because it's like 11:30 at night. But yeah, we're doing fine. The baby's really happy at the moment. Trying to figure out how to do this. The only thing I can think of is rotating it and then saying that Undyne throws you down and you end up going downstream. It's either that or we cut off the garbage dump bit and try and place that somewhere else. But even if we do it, it doesn't make sense because it lines up back with this part here because you end up in this hub. Pain in the butt. The only thing I can think of doing is literally just trying to redesign part of this. Because this makes no sense at all. It's either that or I just cut out the bird there. And we just have it as like a waterfall bit that goes off into the distance. What if the chase part is above the map? Oh, so you're saying if I was to do like that or something, have it be taking place like that. The thing is, I don't know whether that would work. It still doesn't line up properly. It's like, everything is fine with Waterfall up until that bird. It's that goddamn bird. I know it's just a joke by Toby. Maybe. So maybe with the bird, I'm thinking we can do the cave thing. It was just a thought. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not having a go or anything. I'm not like blowing off the idea as it just like not working totally. It's just more the whole thing of I'm just partially thinking out loud as well here. My brain's like ticking round, but I'm partially exhausted. I'm just like, Sammy says, hey Dave, guess what happened today? What's up? What happened? I'm starting to think maybe I cut the joke out completely. Like, it's clearly not worth it. It's really not worth it. Because it doesn't even match. Like, hang on, let's try and. That's glowing water for the marsh. That's normal water. Because it doesn't even make sense when you throw the normal empty in. Where's the empty for the reference? Where's the map? I'll try and find the map now. I busted my nose right before performance. My nose is bleeding on the field. Ooh. The hi-hat on my snare hit me. Oh, I hope you're okay. Did you go and get that scene too? It's not like broken or anything, right? So here we go. Let's try and make sense of the standard map here. So with the standard map, hopefully no one could see from the stands. Hopefully. So we come through here, we go up here, and then we come down to here, and as I've said before, that's the joke there, right? The joke is that that is linked in as well. It's not broken. The hi-hat just cut my skin, I'm fine. Oh, be lucky. You know, the thing is, it's this bit here that's throwing me, right? Oh, wait a minute. Dude, hang on. Because that goes there. No, wait, that... And then that leads... Dude, what? It burned, though. Probably more than burn. It probably sting like mad. Or it will do. The problem with this is I was thinking to keep the original area here intact, the joke would have to be, or the way that it would have to be is that this goes under there, right? So we get to the end of the marsh, it goes under this giant part, under Undyne's house, and then comes up and round, right? And we get the castle and everything. The problem is that then you have the chase sequence, which you fall off into the garbage dump over here. It makes no sense even when you try and do that. Oh my god. I'm trying to think of another way of doing this. Wait, what if the bird can just teleport? The music is playing is like a wormhole while he's teleporting. It would be funny. Excuse me. Ah. The only other thing I can think of here is that we do actually go underneath Undyne's house, right? Thank you very much for that, by the way. Sorry for sneezing. The only other thing that I can think of is to get these areas to line up, it's not a straight line and it bends. The idea is that there's Temmie Village and everything, but wouldn't it be easier if we just bent that entire section of the map? Because if we took it under and then just went from about here and just went all the way around, right? We see the castle roughly about here. We come all the way around to about here, right? And then we have the Undyne chase sequence, which goes all the way over here, and then we end up there. That makes more sense. That makes way more sense than what I was doing before. But the thing is, it means that we're going to have to do like cliff wall things. Maybe I could do that actually, you know, like here, because the way that this works with all the waterfalls, we could probably have it falling down into this area. It's the only way that I can make sense of this entire thing. Throws lizard squashmallow at you. No, no. I'm gonna get revenge real quick. Revenge and Kara, I mean, oh, okay, okay. But yeah, the only way that I can think of this working is, this is like Onion Sands bit, and it goes along the right. Then you've got the upper bit. Then we've got the statue about here. Then we've got the other bits with the waterfalls. And we come down here, which goes above Temmie's bit, which, if I zoom in there, oh, it has water in it though. The problem with that is that bit. Like, if it wasn't for that, that'd be okay. Because the whole idea is to bend that around. Because if I just go, what was it, eraser, right? If I can take the original here, and we just yoink that for a moment, we bring it up to scale roughly. It's about there, right? This will be an interesting way of seeing whether it matches. That's roughly to scale. Okay, right? So we do this. We're going to subdivide this a bunch. Let's type 27 or something, right? And then I'm going to try. I got somebody else as exists at me. So then what we'll do is we'll try and bend this. So we'll do, where is it? I'm trying to remember how to do this now. Simple deform? Oh, there we go, bend, right? There we go. This is going to look super scuffed, but it kind of works. I can kind of get it to work. The only problem is it completely yeets the bit at the end there. This is just terrible. Hello! So yeah, this is going to have to be... I think this is going to have to be the way it does it. I could not get that to manipulate how I wanted it to, but hopefully the idea is that it bends back around on itself, because then that would work. That it'd have to. So like what we essentially have is this kind of thing, where it goes up and round here. Oh, come on now. We bend that about 90 degrees. About here, right? We have that placed there, and then I need to do this. So I need to have this be bendy. It needs to be either bendy or I need to change it. So if we do like, we do a loop cut here, right? And we do another one here, and then we'll do a final one here. The reason why I do this is because then we can take all these segments and we'll just separate them and do a really scuffed version of this. And then you'll see what I'm doing. Okay, so that can go. Bendy, like Bendy in the Ink Machine. Dude, I've not played Bendy in ages. Freaking, oh my god, I need to check if there's any in VR. I know Boris's standalone game was really fun. I absolutely loved that. Okay, so what we've got here is the bit where we have to go across the top of the map, right? But if we just were slowly getting there, you can see what I'm going with this. If I was to rotate this ever so slightly. Oh, no, seriously, 90, 30? No, maybe not 30, 20, 29. Okay, right. That just needs to be as close to there as possible, right? And then we just go, like with this can easily just be like that instead. 90. I've not changed the origins to the center of geometry so it won't line up. But if we do that instead, and then just bring that out like something like this, you can kind of see what I'm going for already. It's just, this is so scuffed. 90. There is a VR version. Ooh, I may go exploring Benny in VR then, eventually. This is so scuffed. Like maybe horizontally flip that. There we go. But obviously you have the castle on this side. So what we're doing here is trying to make this work. This map just has to work. It just has to. Right? And then we can almost get this to line up. It's a super scuffed way of doing it, but it's working. Just as a proof of concept. And then I can actually do it. Oh my god, there's the bit with the statue. I absolutely love the statue. So maybe I can actually make Onion Sand's room like really big. Let's just rotate that slightly. That moment where I'm so devoted into getting this to work. Hey, John. Yeah, I'm drinking. So if we put that there... Oh, dude, it works? Oh my god, it freaking works. Look at that. If we overlap it, right? If I just make Onion Sand's room, like, massive... Because we know he has a big room anyway. It's clearly not that big. It's actually bigger in-game. If I'm just gonna, like, do a really, really, really scuffed edit here. If I make this work, I'm gonna be so happy, because this has been on my mind for literally days. While I've been busy doing the ruins and tests, which if anybody's not seen the tests for Waterfall, I will show those in a little bit, because they're actually really nice. Just have to make sure I don't show anything I'm not supposed to yet. So if we do an array here, and we do an array to about there, that's looking familiar. And then we turn a corner here and we get this room. So that would work. That would work to get us to where we need to get to. Right? So instead of having it mapped out the other way, I'm making sure I save this as a second file just in case. Waterfall reference score version. Literally, I just typed it all in capitals. You'll see it appear in the top in a moment. Oh my god. Right, so that technically works, right? But the question is, where's this bit overlapping? Oh, it's overlapping Tammy's bit just a little bit. So maybe if I bring that in just a tiny bit, if we bring that in about the, so bring that array back just a little bit, and then we take the end of Onion Sands, place that there, right? Then technically, that doesn't interrupt Temmie Village, because we can... It doesn't interrupt Temmie Village, and it doesn't interrupt the rest of Temmie's area in the dark portion of it, because we can just go like this, and then delete that black bit there, and then it should all line up nicely with its own, like, separate bit of cave there. And then this has still got all the marsh and everything, and then we just, this bit, we're just gonna like scuff this as well because of the way this has been edited. We can just take that and separate this, and then flip that on the y-axis, and then we can get see the castle in this direction. And then I can still get all of this bit. And then we only have a small distance to fall from here to here. Oh my god. All the mental gymnastics just to get that to... And then that's the other bit underneath. The mental gymnastics to get us from one place to another there is nuts. And then we just ignore all this bit up here, because that's that bit. That's the only way I can see this working, because then it keeps the skit about that. Because then I'm just trying to think of how this works mentally now. Here we go under Undyne's house. It's like a small little cave, but we go around through here, around here. This is all underneath the other section, possibly inside of a cave. Or sort of just, if you imagine like a cliff face. This is just me thinking out loud as well, by the way. Somebody correct me if you don't think I'm right or whatever. Have more water. So what we do is, this is the exit for the marshlands. So with the marshlands, we can obviously see a little bit of height here. And that height runs down into the garbage dump. So then, by the time we get to here, there's like a little cave entrance. And the idea is, this runs under Undyne's house, right? So we pop out here. And then you have this cave for Onion San, which then turns here. And this can be like a cliff face thing that goes around here. And self-contains all of that for Temmie Village. Oh, hang on. Dude, I might have just like completely figured this out. Right, so we do all of Temmie Village. That also gives us an extra wall that I can do there for that. And that all makes sense because that then goes around to there, which is the other bit. This can come across here, because then we got the marsh there, and then we got the other wall here. This one leads up and then expands, and then we get the chase with Undyne here. So we've kind of got a neat thing going on where this all runs underneath the entrance to Temmie's bit, or because what'll happen is that's got waterfalls going down there, right? We see waterfalls from underneath, so it makes sense that you include something like that. We have those waterfalls coming down. Could always do those at a different angle. Instead of them being that way, we can have them like facing the other way. So as they're going this way, or as we're going this way, sorry. Let's see. It'd have to be that way. They'd be coming down either side. We can still get that to work. Yeah, we come down this way. We got the water coming in. We could even have like water coming in through the sides of the cave here. But the idea is this is all going to be like a giant cavern area. We can see that through here. Maybe have some water over here or something that leads back. We know we've got some kind of like water here, so we can have that branch out a little bit. And we've got this bit here, right? So we do this where we have the cavern wall go across. And the way that this is, the castle is off in the distance, right? So we have the castle be all the way over here or something. And then the way that this works is that this cavern is going to be absolutely massive and contains all of the Undyne Chase. And that loops back to almost near the start when you look at it. Which is ironic. Undyne's Chase leads us all the way back to the beginning. And we fall down here. So that would mean we've got all of this stuff to work with, and that walls it all off. The thing is, oh no. No. Oh, actually, yeah, that'd be taller, which would then, I'm trying to think of this, because Undyne section again has, well, after it has, if we fall down here, right, we fall down into then we have another bit below that. That's the only problem here now, because, like, getting the height on this is going to be really weird, right? Because this just continuously comes down. This is from, like, holes in the roof here, right? This is all flat and one thing, but we clearly have a cliff face here. We got, like, a cliff face, and we got water coming down. We got another cliff face here, which goes around, and then another one, which goes all the way around here. We can do that. Line that up. That can go round here, maybe, or right, so the water flows out into there. For this, I'm going to need to open it up a bit, so that's got to come out. Just to make that wider, right? All of this black part is going to be water anyway. Just looked at Discord and saw water sausages, best name for a cat. I like the idea of water sausages. Then we got this bit up here. This bit is another area that's hidden. So we've got elevation there. That's the bit with the entrance that we go through for the waterfall. This bit, the way that this works, this is all one thing round here. All this, and this just leads all the way down. That's just going to go down. It's a cliff face, so just trying to get an idea of this elevation here at the moment. Because they're called cattail plants, but they do look like hot dogs. It's true. I remember them actually being called cattails now that you mention it. Remember it mentioned to me ages ago. Trying to draw over this so I can get some sort of height detail is a little bit awkward. So we do this with the wall here. We do the same over here. The reason why I'm making it wavy is just so I understand that it's a rock wall with like different formations in it. We'll just do the top of the wall there, and then like that. And then we'll just go round there like that. Same here. We just realized I've just traced the center of the, instead of doing what I should have done there, which is trace that a little bit, and then trace this, right? Because I need the lower section of the wall. There's the quiche area. And then for this bit is like more rock walls. And that goes and wraps around to about there, roughly. And then we got this platform here, which continues on. So we're kind of getting a crazy overlay at the moment. The seeds there are really fuzzy if you pull them apart, indeed. It's even funnier watching people try and eat them because then you just sort of just start choking like mad. The only reason I say that's funny is because of just how many seeds are in them. It's not funny to watch people choke, it's funny to watch people try to eat them and then be like, dude. It's like, well, what do you expect? I've seen one with a mustache on it at a park. Sorry, wait, what? Okay, I'm slowly getting the idea of this now. So the way this works would be it'd have to be something like this, right? Goes all the way up, covers this kind of area. And here we got this. Nope. I moment where you try and do like wiggly lines and instead it's just messing you up because you're trying to draw with the mouse. I think the one thing that I'm going to have issue with now is just the height detail and stuff. Mustard, not mustache. It cut off. It cuts off. The way that it works is because of the way when you stream in the chat thing on YouTube, at least, there's like a giant heart in the way, like in emote. I'm assuming if I click it for a moment, yeah, it just gives me like all the emotes that I can then put on people's stuff. But, like it cut it off, and it looked like it said mustache because of how it cut off. I'm just like, God damn it. I'll watch. Oh, and even watching on my end on like OBS, if I pop that out, it still has it on OBS. So let's do that. So that would come out of there, and then that would be like another cave here. And that would loop all the way to the. Basically, that just pushes all of that out of the way because you go from the to the. I don't want to draw everything here, but I imagine this is probably going to be. If I do that, that's got some height on it. So we're slowly like progressing down here, especially because of the way that the waterfalls are. So it's like that's a step down. That one's another step down. So we're going pretty low there. That probably falls over the edge here into the garbage dump. Makes sense position-wise, but then that bit in the garbage dump doesn't make sense that much unless this is above here. It's got to be. It's like above. So scuffed. And then below. I need to talk to like Frisk and some other people and see how they did this because this is totally scuffed. And then this bit would have to be below? Question mark. And then that comes up and slowly goes round and goes either under or what? Under, and then it slowly goes up. So as we come out the other side of here and past Temi Village, this has got to go up again. I like the way that Undyne's house looks like her. Yeah, it's pretty cool the way that her house is like a fish on fire. I mean, that's after you set it on fire, but I do like how our house is really representative of her and is really unique compared to everybody else's house in Waterfall. At least I think I've kind of got this now. This is like turning into some crazy algebra thing where I start going like A plus B equals dog. That was scuffed. There we go. Yeah, this is turning into some like mad thing here. And it's like A plus B equals dog. Then we see like the X-Files theme or something going on while I'm busy drawing like charts or whatever that are going off like this. It's like A, Y, Z or something. You get the meme. Blows a kiss to Metaton. But yeah, I think I get this now a little bit if I just cross out all of this up here, we just because that's technically a copy because of the other we just cross that out. There we go. But yeah, I think I can get to there now because that's going to be Temi's bit is going to be above with Tem Village. And then this bit slowly works its way up to this area, which is going to have the open area where we run with Undyne. So can I actually get that? Undyne, chase to Heartland. I'm just seeing if somebody's got a map of that, even though... Hey, there's Dork's version of Undyne from Inverted Fate. I love the way I just type that in and I get like all kinds. Bonding with Undyne. Excuse me. Okay, so the map, the way that it works is it goes something like this. You go all the way up here. And we get around. And then there's Hotland. Roughly, right? Funny fact, sands from across one Tumblr sexy man for Undertale AUs. Oh, is that why the video came up the other day and I recommended? Where Cross is like, dude, I don't even know why I didn't even enter. Probably. I was wondering because I was like, wait a minute, I thought it was just normal sands, not cross. I feel like this area with Undyne need to make that into like a really big spectacle fight kind of thing where we have like maybe another open area here. Oh, give me a sec. Where this is, because there's the Hotland sign there. If we open it up a little bit more and we do that, and then we have it just slightly wider there because we got the two rivers here, and then I don't think there's one up there, but then that area's got a little bit more space to work with. Be slightly altered, but it gives Frisk more areas to move. Ace Angelo says hello. I'm thinking out loud and trying not to go crazy, making this map work. Here's all my ramblings. Here's all my ramblings and my research. So from this, we got another area for Tammy. Clearly got some like cliff face here. And another one here, which I'm assuming goes and links to that there. And then all the black areas can just be water. That is literally the easiest way of doing the blackbirds. Go crazy, join us. I mean, I'd say it was already crazy. It's just there's varying degrees of crazy. Oh, right. So at least now I kind of have an idea of how I should do Waterfall. It just means that I've had to essentially do like three 90-degree right angle turns and then a fourth one to get us all the way back to where we should be, just to do the duck joke or the bird joke. But then even then, all the bird does is skip the marsh. I don't even, because although no, it still works. The bird still technically works because you're still skipping all of this bit that we go back through, because that bit goes under Undyne's house and then goes around. Yeah. Okay, so it does work. It does work. That moment where I'm like, did I just do all of this for like an hour just for nothing, just to find out that the bird is still the problem? But no. I've worked it out. It's fine. It's fine. And this, everyone, is a man turning to turning into artist insanity. It's that whole thing of, I can get the joke, like, sounds terrible of me. I know the joke and the reason why it's done, but in the case of like 3D and stuff, translating all this into something that people can watch is so hard when you just like, okay, I'm not gonna do it literally how the game shows you, because it's one big map that is like bigger than anything else, as you can see by the top one there. Like if you compare the two now from my scuffed version, if we did it literally just exactly how the game tells us, then, and we just ignore the bird, then Waterfall is by far the biggest map in Undertale. If we just looked at it like that. But this way, the scuffed version way, at least this way, it kind of makes sense and doesn't drive me absolutely mad. Oh. Like, what also helps Undertale, I think, in game format is the rooms. Like, I'm trying to make everything look like it's properly connected to each other, like it would do naturally. And the thing that Undertale has going for it as a game where you look from top down rather than being able to see everything is that you can just make these things into rooms that make no sense or make as much sense as you want. But then when you look at them the way that I'm doing, they literally make no sense. So then I'm like having to essentially take a hammer and hacksaw to things and just like cut off pieces and then smack things together and hold stuff together with glue tape and some sort of logic and be like, okay, this kind of works. This kind of works. Maybe I can get this to fit, you know. What was that, John? Do you want me to put World Revolving on? Chaos. Ace Angelo says, imagine trying to make one of those classic Metroidvania games into 3D. Brain melts. It's like I said before, with Heartland, at least you could kind of make sense of it a little bit by doing the whole thing of layering it on top of each other. Whereas I think like it's completely the opposite way for Waterfall until you get to like here, because you start off at the very bottom again and then have to work your way back up. I think it's where we go from here is going to be nuts, because we start really high down and high up, sorry, over here at Snowden. And then if you follow it round map wise, we start off high, we walk all the way around here. There's no real change in elevation. We keep going, we go all the way along the marshland, avoiding Undyne's spears. We get to the bit with Gerson, and then the marsh is where it changes. It's where everything changes. Because everything has to be on the same height level going forwards here, but not over here. So we go underneath Undyne's house, come up, go all the way around here. This is all on one area with a cliff face, which is shown in the artwork here. It's just all like a giant underwater tunnel, really. Or it's, sorry, not an underwater tunnel. It's like a giant underground tunnel with water coming down from up above. Then we've got a slightly more open area with some marshlands, still some water coming in. Then we've got the iconic scene with the castle. Then we come across here. This is potentially, like, as we've been going here, we've been slowly coming up again. This is the part where we get to one of the highest points. We run around, go all the way through Undyne's maze, where she's trying to spike us with her spears, and then we fall off here. We fall all the way down again, all the way back down to the lowest we've been, even the lowest part to the part where you think you can't go any lower, and then you realize, no, you can, because there's still other bits. Hell, even here I might make it so you turn and it's like a cave entrance or something. So you think, oh, it's a tiny cave, and then you find out, no, it's not. You're essentially jumping out of the side of this wall into the garbage dump past all of this stuff that we've already seen. That'd actually be pretty cool to get a sense of where we are visually, to see that. Then we're, bam, straight back in the garbage dump, lowest point ever, with a little bit of a drop off here into another area. And then we go all the way up again, until we eventually get to the hub area with Undyne's house and stuff. We go through here. I'm going to have to make sense of the river person bit. Oh, shoot. Okay. That's put a wrench in my works. Which map was the easiest for you to format-wise? The ruins. The ruins are so easy. Oh, dude. How do I get the river person from here to Snowden? That is so annoying. The only thing I can think of is that the river person doesn't go in a straight line. If they, because we don't see where they go off screen, right? And clearly they can't go that way. So I reckon they go this way and then go round here and sail underneath Undyne's bit, and then use that way to go to Snowden. But then they've got it. No, can't be that way. Can't be that way because of the way that it is in Snowden. Okay, so having another freaking aneurysm here trying to figure this out. Just do a loading screen gag. Even though we're not gonna see it, it kind of needs to make sense. if I do it as a map in VR chat eventually, it needs to make sense. So it'd be like, trying to think. Oh, dude, what if it is a straight line, right? Like for Snowden, because in Waterfall, this is the checkpoint area. Do we go to Holland? I think we do. Yeah, which would mean you'd have to sail. Let's think about this. You could sail that way to Holland. And then go all the way through the marsh. Around here, and then that would kind of make sense. That there was another like tunnel there. Right? Just do a fade cut. Yeah. Or if the river person is at the lowest map. What I'm thinking is like they have like this extra tunnel that just goes around, right? The extra tunnel leads to here, goes around here. Because Heartland is in a similar sort of situation where you go this way, you come up, and then that way, right? That makes sense for Heartland. For this way, what would be cool, because we need to get to Snowdon over this side. We need to be over here on this side because the river. And we know the river comes up here, right? So I need some way of getting that across there. So maybe if we include like a bridge that goes across the top of the Mad Dummy section, and it's like a hole. It's like a water bridge that goes across there. And then you go in another bit here, which is under the other section here. And that goes along, goes all the way through the marsh. No, because what about the water? No, because the water depth wouldn't be too bad. If it's a cave underneath, then it wouldn't be too bad. And then that goes that way. Cuts across where Undyne chases you, and then leads all the way around to here. That would kind of make sense. Remember, it's movie magic. It's gotta make sense. Physically, it has to make sense. For real, Dave is movie magic. Monsters are known for magic. I know. It's just, my brain's like, dude, it has to make physical sense. I don't know why my brain is like this. It just is. Don't ask me why. I definitely think I have some sort of issue or something. I really need to get diagnosed. I was meant to fill in some paperwork for that the other day, but didn't, because apparently my diagnosis would take 2 years. But yeah, that's the only way I can see this working. The science heart in you refuses to let go. I think it's more the whole thing of it's like, when I see something, I have to know exactly how it works and how everything, works together just to make sense of it. I think is the best way of putting it. Like, it needs to make logical sense for me so I can be satisfied with it, because if it doesn't, then I'm just like, The thing is, though, it's really weird because my brain can be like this when I'm trying to work on things like this, but then I can look at stuff like Looney Tunes or whatever that can sometimes just make no sense whatsoever and be like, yeah, okay, that's fine. I have no clue why my brain does this. It's really weird. And the worst part is when I get stuck in this type of like mindset, I can't budge out of it no matter what, and it stops me a lot from progressing with different things when I'm like this. It can kind of get really annoying. Awesome work so far, says Damon. Are the runes almost on? Oh yeah, they're almost on. I just need to tutorials books. Dave has autistic attention to detail, says Damon. Dude, it's like I said, I need to get checked. Like, people have been saying for ages that I have ADHD or something. And then I've been telling people, all my sort of experiences and stuff. And people are like, dude, you probably have ADHD and autism. And I'm like, hey, it's not a bad thing. It would explain a lot of the things about me, But I need to get it checked. So I'll fill in the paperwork at some point and then in 2 years come back and be like, so I got him. You know. So yeah, we're going to go over a couple of things now that we've finished the planning for Waterfall. For those who weren't here, John, God damn it, John. For those who weren't here, I was trying to make sense of the map for Waterfall, right? And if you've not seen the other videos, I'm now going to show you what the problem was real quick. So the problem was, when you play Undertale, because of Undertale being separated into rooms, you go through Waterfall like this in-game, right? You come in through Snowdin, we go across here, we see sands, we go all the way through the first puzzle area, we go to the wishing room, past the quiche room, we get transported to this bit where Undyne chases us for the first time, and then we go to the bit with Gerson and well, not so much Gerson, the ice cream bit, and then we get to the marsh. Now, if you go through the accurate way of going through the game that it shows you, when we get to the marsh area, we go down here, we go all the way around, and then we come up, and we go to Onion Sands room, right? But you'll notice there's something missing here. And we keep going around, we follow the area past the statue and everything. We go down here, past the bit with the castle, and then this is the scuffed bit because I couldn't find a proper map for this, right? We go to the bit where we get chased by Undyne again, and she shoots all the spears up from underneath us. And we go through all this maze, and then we come down into Waterfall's lowest area in the garbage dump. And then we come all the way back up, and there's the little bird. The whole point of this stream was to point out that this all makes no sense because all of this bit takes place in between the two bits that you can see from the little bird, because normally the map works. You can see the little bird from the other side here, normally. But in-game, it actually looks totally different and turns out to be one of the biggest maps in all of Undertale, if not the biggest one, right? So me being very, very particular with details was like, dude, how do I make this work in 3D, right? And I spent ages trying to figure it out, and it kind of works a little bit like I was just showing and trying to make reference of, is that we literally rotate Onion San and the bit with the statue all on a 90-degree, like 3 different times, with Undyne's chase sequence being essentially upside down. And then we fall into the garbage dump, and it still works, still cuts out the same amount of content and stuff. It's just not, because you still technically have to, if you're progressing through here, you'd still technically have to go this way. The difference is that it's just not. I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around this at the moment. But yeah, it sticks closely to the original design. All it does is just put a couple of turns in it. Let's catch up with chat here. Sammy says, my friends are constantly telling me I have autism. I'm starting to think they're right. Hope your day has been good. My little brother's been watching anime, so I couldn't do much today, says Damon. My day's been fine. I've been playing with my daughter loads and then just talked with one of my best friends, so I'm really happy and trying to see them more because I'm not seeing them much. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but that works as Fan 2000. The thing is, it's like, I know loads of people keep telling me, like, dude, you can skip things. It doesn't have to be perfectly accurate. You don't have to play it by the book, as it were, for 100% accuracy. And it's like I've explained, I don't know why, but my brain just refuses to budge. My brain is like, no, we're doing this. It's 100% accurate. It's going to work logically. It's going to stick to the map. And everything is going to be fine. And I'm like, what? So, yeah, it's been driving me crazy. The little spoiler I'm going to show off now, tiny little spoiler, is just the text for Waterfall. And I'll go over the details with the ruins as well. That's pure dedication. Hats off to you, says Fan2000. Thank you very much. Ace Angelo says, remember, take your detail, say your detail and eat your detail. My brain wants redacted, says John. Oh god. Okay, so for Waterfall, I was working on some stuff the past couple of days as well. I took a little bit of a break from it today until I just did this map. But the idea was trying to get Waterfall to work in terms of the visuals. A lot of people know already that what I'm doing is I'm modeling a lot of things, but for like textures and other things, I take that stuff from other places just so I can make it a lot quicker. The idea is that I get stuff and try and make it as close as I can to what I can see in the sprite work and what I think it will look like. And I also mix in a little bit of references from like real life and stuff to try and get it looking as good as it can. So, if you've seen it on Discord, then you'll know what this is. I posted it up just to show a couple of people to see how they felt about it. And it's taking ages to load. There we go. So this is the look for Waterfall at the moment, right? We've got the stone kind of floor here. You get to see all the behind the scenes for this now, because essentially this is just a giant demo area of what I think Waterfall will look like. I'll explain it a little bit more because I really haven't done that. But yeah, you can see this is literally just a flat plane here. And that's just a wall. There's nothing else in here at the moment. But yeah, the idea being that I was kind of stuck on this for a little while. But we got a little nice glow, you know, it's all pretty dark, as you expect Waterfall to be because it's indoors. But there's a couple of cool things to note in here, right? You'll probably see them when I play. Just pick up on all the details and see whether you notice anything. Honestly, I really like this. So this is a small demo, right? But things to point out. The wall itself is pretty much like Hotland, right? Water animations and reflections. Yeah, so the interesting thing that I've been messing around with and experimenting lots with, and also working with Bakers again. Bakers helped me with Heartland a lot with the shaders. What we've been working on is ways to just make everything look good. I've said I wanted to devote all my time to making this look magical, like really magical if I could. It kind of gives you an idea of what the Ruins is going to have as well, because the Ruins has the water sort of like reflecting in certain areas as well, so that's a little bit of a spoiler, is that the Ruins has the same sort of setup. But the idea is that wherever there's light, that bounces this effect round the walls and stuff to reflect the water surface off it. It's all faked, but it looks really nice and gives you that kind of water rippling effect. You can also do it on like under the water as well, just to kind of make everything look a little bit more 3D. But you can see the water ripples there. We can control them fully. They're really cool. I'm pointing them out with the mouse now. But normally you see those in kind of like areas where caves are like lit up and all the lights bouncing off the water and hitting the cave wall. So that's pretty cool. I really wanted that. That was like the one thing I wanted to have nailed for Waterfall when I started producing this new version. when, heck, I even wanted it for the ruins. I was like, look, there needs to be something that's really cool, that looks really realistic. It's going to give that sort of magical feel with the atmosphere. I need this. So I went and researched it, found out how I can fake it really well in Blender. And of course, it just makes everything look really cool because it highlights certain areas really nicely. So I really love that. That's definitely going to bring a lot to the table in terms of like visuals. The other bit here is the water, right? I went a bit crazy with the water, but I'm hoping I can get your feedback on it. Like, especially now, because I'm going to show you the issue with the water and why I've done this sparkly glitter look on it, right? So we can see here when we play it, we got this kind of like sparkly particle effect. But the water, the most important part is the water still looks like water, right? We got these shiny particles in it, but it still looks like it's flowing and moving up and down and stuff. I assume that's the general consensus for chat anyway, yeah? Is that water looks like water, it's just got shiny particles in it, right? So the reason why this has got shiny particles in is because this is going to be the water that's in the marshland area, right? So we're going to see the water going up and down, and it's going to be glowing like the glowing water in Waterfall. But the reason it's not 100% accurate, and I've had to compromise, is because if we go back to the scuffed version for a moment, we can see here that what I'm trying to do is this effect, right? I'm trying to do the effect of having the water be glowing because that just works. It looks really cool, right? But the way that stuff works in 3D, it doesn't want water to look like water if you throw the glow on it, right? So for instance, we got it at this right now. If I change the glow effect, I'll just show you what it looks like if I wanted it to be accurate. That's right, so that's without water. So if I try, what this slider does here is it essentially changes how much it looks like water and how much it looks like glow, right? Here it's just like not doing it anymore now. That's just grand. Let's just change something else. If I go to, I think it was that one. There we go. So if I just make this accurate, that just stops looking like water. That just stops looking like water and looks like its brain. It just hurts. There's no waves, there's no anything. There's no way of toning that down. There's no way of making it look see-through. It just looks terrible. There is no sort of like indication that that is water at all. You know, so I'm sat here like, what the hell do I do to fix that? And the answer was the sparkles. I looked at a lot of stuff. Just add a little more dots instead of a small amount. Yeah, the thing is, I can change that. So we can do like, where is that shader? I go to shader, right? We can change the number to say 200 instead of 100. And they're still there, they're smaller. Or we can go 400 or 600. But the thing is, they're overlaying on the water underneath. So then we'd have to like change maybe change how thick they are. But the thing is, then it starts looking like visual noise. And then it doesn't look good again. So then you gotta like crank it down to 200. And then you're like, maybe I gotta tweak this so it actually looks like water again. So you gotta get just the right spot where it still looks like water, but it doesn't look like noise static, which is rough. And that's the hardest part. Like even here, that looks kind of cool, but it looks too noisy. So when I was going on about this and doing all these tests, I found that doing larger particles, just not having too many of them, seemed to work a little bit more because it seemed to kind of emulate what I was going for while also overlaying on top of this water effect that I've got going on. So it looked okay. So it's not too bad. Basically, just bigger particles and less of them seems to work. But yeah, that's going to make up for the lack of a flat, glowing surface. It's just going to make everything a little bit less accurate, but this is a good compromise. What's interesting as well is if you search up bioluminescent water, you'll actually see this in real life. It's an occurrence that happens in real life, so it's actually pretty cool using that as something in here. What I think I might do as well is try and see if I can get an effect where if the water hits a wall or something, there's like a ripple along it. I don't know whether I can do that at the moment. There's a lot of like tech going into this well, there's a lot of effort, I would say, not so much tech, but a lot of effort trying to emulate stuff in Blender. So I've got like loads of other stuff to do. Like I was messing around with what was it, waterfall ripples the other day, where I was like trying to emulate the bottom of the waterfall where the waterfall's hitting and there's just these ripples coming out. This is essentially what you see there. But this is like an anime style shader, so I don't know whether this will work or not. I've just been doing a lot of like tech tests, basically trying to get stuff to work. I need an ab. Might go early, says Sammy. Ooh, just to finish off then. Just to finish off, and then I'll call it. With the ruins, we're practically done now. The only thing I need to do is the fight area with Toriel. But before I do that, John, I'll talk to you about that in a bit. Before I do the fight bit with Toriel, I need to do the books on Toriel's shelf. So I'm doing like 21 book covers. I still need to decide how they're all going to look, but once those book covers are done, then basically all of the interior of Toriel's house is done outside of like picture frames. And it'll all be, well, it all is super HD now. So it's looking a lot better than it did previously, where it was all in like sprite form. So it's awesome. And then I can't wait, because once that's done, all I need to do is give Snowden a little bit of a visual lift with the shaders, work a little bit on the ice, and then that's done. Because there's not too much that needs to be done there. Then after that's done, then Waterfall can be fully overhauled and done properly. And then we done basically, apart from one interesting thing that I need to put forwards to everyone eventually, which is what the heck does the barrier look like? Like we're gonna go into areas with, you know, like the barrier after New Home, and we're gonna be fighting in the void with Asriel and stuff, and I'm just like, what the heck do I do for those locations? You know, because I've tried to mock them up before, looking game accurate, and the void with Asriel, I kind of went a little bit of a more fancy realm. Somebody, when they saw the mock-up, said it looked like Kingdom Hearts level. But when you think about it, right, this is just something to think about for future videos and ideas and stuff. When we get to Asgore and we have the fight in the barrier is just a giant corridor that's white and filled full of like glowing light and stuff. What the heck am I going to do for that? You know, since it's immersion, shouldn't it be like the player's interpretation? Oh, interesting. Yeah. The thing, it's the player's interpretation of what they're seeing in 3D. So I suppose if you go off that kind of an idea, it could be anything. But yeah, just anybody's got any ideas, you know, throw them in the Undernet Hub on Discord, because it's going to be interesting seeing what people come up with, because I've seen some like very surreal stuff in animations. Like I'm going to need to watch Underverse again, just all of the Underverse stuff and all of Crosstail, because that'll probably help as well. Sammy says, but for now, bye-bye. Thank you very much, Sammy, for sticking around. Hope to see you later. But yeah, there's a lot of like different interpretations of like what the battle arenas look like and where it takes place and stuff. Some of them are kind of surreal. So it's going to be interesting trying to get those to work in 3D and see if everybody likes the interpretations of them. Anyway, I'm going to take a break, and I'll speak to at least one person here in DMs. So yeah, I shall see you all on the next one. Until then, thank you very much. It has been a pleasure as usual. Bye.